Hey guys, what's going on? Yuri here. Drinking some yerba mate. Really enjoyable actually. If you want a really good yerba mate recipe, yerba mate, some almond milk, cinnamon, a little bit of vanilla, and some honey. It's actually really, really nice. So I'm enjoying this. Anyways, that's not the topic of today's video or wherever you're consuming this. I was thinking about this. I think about a lot of stuff all the time. Obviously, that's why I shoot these videos and share this stuff. This whole idea of like, does being nice hurt your business? And it's an interesting question, and I want to share what I mean by that. So when we work with our clients, one of the tools that we give them is, at least in the virtual side of things, is a call script and framework that we call Coach to Close. And the way I see this is, it doesn't matter if you consider yourself a coach or a practitioner or anywhere in between. We're all coaches, right? I got some food on my face. That's hilarious. All right. Okay. So yeah, we're all coaches in the sense that we're moving people towards their goals. And we call this Coach to Close in terms of the phone conversation, because really what it is it's not a sales conversation. It's not a strategy call. It's not a discovery call. It's really a coaching conversation to help someone uncover the truth about their situation. And I think, when we look at the clients of ours who are doing really, really well with their phone calls that are leading to people paying them, several thousands of dollars to help them with their health, what they're able to do, and this doesn't happen overnight unless you've been working on this stuff for a while. So this takes time, and that's why our clients work with us, right? And I host a call every single morning to help them with this stuff. So it's this idea that those who do well, those who get more yeses on the phone, and even in person for that matter, are simply able to put aside being nice in order to help their clients or their patients. Now, I'm not saying, well, if we're not going to be nice, we have to be an asshole. No, not about that at all. But it's not about making friends. It's about helping people transform. And sometimes people need to hear the truth that they're not willing to admit to themselves. As an example, one of our clients, who's also one of our success coaches, had a conversation with a lady last week who said she needed her help. She was like, this is amazing. And our client's program is it's $4K, okay, so $4,000. And the client was like, man, I was expecting like $800 or so. This is out of my price range. And what she did amazingly well is she leaned in and she called her on her stuff. And she said, listen, if we're going to work together, I need to be super honest with you. I'm going to call you out on some of your stuff. And here's an example of one of them. And she just brought this up to the surface to say, listen, you're here because you want to go there. You know what you're doing isn't working. And now you're lying to yourself. And I thought that was such a great example of what it means to have an honest coaching conversation with a potential person, client, or existing client, is you don't help them by being nice. You help them by being honest. And that's what I mean by, does nice hurt your business? The answer to that, I believe, is yes. Obviously, I'm not saying don't be a nice person. Obviously, be a nice person, right? But I'm saying when people work with us, right, they're not coming to me because they want me to be their friend. They want me to help them grow their business. And so sometimes the advice and the coaching that I give them is not what they want to hear, but it's what they need to do. And this is why it's so important to be able to step into that uncomfortable zone, to have a conversation with someone that might not feel comfortable. You're going to ask questions where it might seem like you're prying or going a little bit too deep, but that's where the transformation occurs. And if you're having a tough time getting people to say yes to you, or they think it's too expensive, or they need to think about it, or they have to talk with their spouse, it's usually because either they don't see the value in your program, they don't believe it's going to work, or that you're simply letting them go too easily. And listen, it's not your fault if you don't know what to do, right? But if you do know what to do, and most people don't, which is why they come to work with us, is that once you know what to do, then it's a matter of doing it, right? So we know it's important to work out and exercise, but why don't we do it? Because it's less comfortable than sitting on the couch, right? We know it's important to drink green juice. Why don't we do it? Because it's less comfortable than drinking coffee, right? So this is how we operate. And we have to think about, all right, am I here to make friends or am I here to help people achieve their goals? Because I don't think they're the same. They don't have to be mutually exclusive, but I do think we need to prioritize which is most important. I've always said this. The number one thing that's going to hold you back in your business is your fear of being disliked. And that shows up by trying to be nice to everyone. And that doesn't work out. I don't think it works out. Because when you're nice, you let them dictate the relationship. You let them tell you how it's going to go. And you're the expert. They're coming to you for help. So you have to lead the way. You have to tell them, here's what we're going to do. Maybe it's more than you wanted to spend. But if you really want to get well and you want to get better and you want these improvements, here's what we need to do. So anyways, this has just been on my mind. Yeah, and then like the other thing with this, and going back to the nice side of things, this shows up a lot of times when we don't necessarily, in this case, what I'm about to share with you, we're not lying to ourselves, we're lying to the other person. And so this is going to show up in your conversations and consults like, oh, this sounds really great, but I'd love to think about it. I'm totally in, I just need some time to think about it. And when someone says that, or if someone says I'm 99.99% in, that is closer to no than it is to yes. And here's what really grinds my gears is the fact that people lie to you or to anyone in order not to hurt their feelings, right? So it's like if you know you don't want to do something, don't say you want to do it. Just say you're not going to do it and that's it. So like this shows up a lot of times when, well, as an example with Healthpreneur Live. By the way, if you don't have your ticket for Healthpreneur Live, it starts on Friday. So go to healthpreneurgroup.com/live, grab your spot. It's $97, 2 days to help you build an amazing virtual business. Obviously a health practice online. So here's an example. We've got about 200 people in attendance right now. It's going to be amazing. You're going to be learning from myself, my team, for the best experts on the planet when it comes to finances, Facebook ad strategy, mindset, sales conversations. And listen, like if you're in health, you're in sales. Okay, you're always selling something, which is why it's so important. But we've had conversations with people, over DM, email, whatever, and they're like, yeah, like I'd love to. Sounds great. I definitely have it on my radar. And then it's like, great. Well, here's where you can grab your spot. Oh, well, I can't because I have a lot of stuff going on. So that's an example of what I mean. Is like, don't say you'd love to, because if you would love to, you would. Just say, I can't, I don't want to go. I can't make it, right? So just be honest with yourself and anyone else. And because the thing is, if you do this, it will come back to you, right? If you continue to say to people, like, I'd love to, but it's not going to be sunny, so I don't know if I can make it, whatever the excuse is, those types of things are going to come right back at you. So just be honest with yourself, be honest with other people. Don't try to be nice to prevent hurting other people's feelings. Like, listen, like, if I ask you, are you going to be coming to Healthpreneur Live? Just say yes or no. Don't tell me you'd love to, blah, blah. Just say yes or no. And if you don't, that's totally fine. Just be honest, right? If you think $97 is too much money, that's great. It's never going to work out anyways, right? But just be honest. Do not lie. Don't look to be nice to spare people's feelings, because at the end of the day, it probably causes more harm than good. Anyways, so with that said, I hope that makes sense. Don't be too nice. Obviously, be a nice person, but hold people's feet to the fire. It's important for them. It's important for you. And if you'd like help with this stuff, if you would like to grow or start a successful virtual practice, if you're a health practitioner and you recognize that the second wave is imminent, and even if it isn't, let's be honest, I mean, the world is moving in this direction anyways. So having a virtual presence is, I think, just smart. And it doesn't matter if you're a manual therapist, chiropractor, or a knowledge-based practitioner. Most of what you can do virtually. And if you're open to that conversation and you're open to the opportunity to have no ceiling as to where you can take your business, then we'd be delighted to help you. And that's exactly what we're going to show you how to do for 2 straight days, this coming Friday and Saturday at Healthpreneur Live. We're going to give you everything you need to get your virtual practice up and running. I'm not holding anything back. Like, obviously there's more stuff beyond the 2 days if you want to go on, further, but I'm not one of those guys to run an event with fluff, right? It's not like 2 days of fluff and then a heavy sales pitch. I'm going to give you everything I possibly can in 2 days that's tactical, strategic, and implementable. So you leave the 2 days, whether or not you want to do anything else beyond that, where you're like, man, this was the best 2 days I could have imagined investing in my business. Because the reality is that if you're busy, if you don't have time, if your finances are not where they want to be or you want them to be, this is exactly why you should be at the events, because we're going to show you how to fix these problems. If you're too busy now and you would love being busy, then that's great. But if you don't love being busy and you would rather have a little bit of time to come up for air and maybe spend some time with your family or do other things, then you probably have to put a bit of time aside to create that future. When I was working 12 to 14 hours a day, now almost 20 years ago, I took time every single day to start building my future because I knew that that wasn't the existence I wanted to continue living. And I know it's scary, right? It's tough. You have to make a compromise at some level. I'm not saying give up everything you're doing, but I'm saying, listen, if it's important to you, you'll find a way. And if it's a maybe, then you won't, right? And the last thing I want is for people to continue struggling in the health space, especially with COVID, man. It's like how many businesses have been just totally rocked this year. And then we have hundreds of our clients who've had their best years in business ever. And that's why we're here. That's what we want to help you do. And that's what we want to show you how to do this coming week. So Friday, Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. Listen, if you had a full day of patience, if you had a full day of stuff going on, if it's important enough to you, you'll find a way to make it happen. And that's really it, right? So I'll put a link in the comments below, healthpreneurgroup.com/live for a grand total of $97. I know, we're making it super accessible because it's virtual. Normally this event we do at Scottsdale, a 5-star resort, one of the nicest resorts in all of the US, $3,000 a ticket, plus flight, plus hotel. And you get to attend a similar experience, albeit virtually, for $97 because we have all these savings that we can pass on to you. We don't have all the overhead, right? But we're still bringing the goods, and we'd love to have you join us if you take your business seriously. If $97, you see the value in investing in your business, and like even if you just got one idea, it would be worth multiples of that. But if you're the person who doesn't see the value there, if $97 is a stretch, and if you don't see the value in making time for this, then it's probably not the right fit. But if you're the former, then go ahead and grab your ticket today because we start bright and early Friday morning. We'd love to have you join us if you fit the criteria that I just mentioned. So anyways, hopefully this makes sense. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you throughout the week, and I'll see you on Friday morning.